So summer of 2021, I sat down with my team lead at that time. This is like 3.5 years ago. And it was a business planning session. So we sat down, he was like, okay, what are you gonna do to get business, right? I was brand new, couple weeks in the industry. And he was like, what's your plan, right? I'm like, my plan is I'm gonna get TikTok famous. That's how I'm gonna do business. And I was kind of half joking, but realistically I wasn't. That was my actual plan. And he laughed and he's like, okay, well, you can't do that. You can do that, but you can't only do that. Like, you have to make calls. So how many calls are you gonna make per day? And I was like, I'm not gonna make calls, man. I'm gonna get TikTok famous and it's gonna result in business, right? I'm like, I see it out there. I see these guys, these influencers that are like in Dubai, or like 19-year-olds driving Lamborghinis and all this shit. And like, I know these guys aren't sitting at a desk and pissing off 40 people per day to get there, right? I know it's possible, right? And he was like, okay, well, you're gonna do it your way for the next couple months and then we'll come back to my way, right? Let's see how that works out for you. And then fast forward a year later, I did 57 deals to be exact, pretty much 100% off of TikTok. So the moral of this story is I'll preface by saying that calls do work. Calls are amazing. There are a lot of people doing more business than me doing calls, right? They definitely work. But I hated it. I absolutely hate it. I could not force myself to do it, and I'm a pretty driven guy. And even when people cold call me, the second I get an inkling that this is a sales call, I hang up. I don't even tell them why. I just hang up. Because I don't owe them any time. I don't owe them an explanation for why. Like, dude, I don't want to take your call. I'm busy. I don't want to talk to you, right? Like, I don't need to explain why I don't want to talk to you. You just called me and tried to take some of my time to sell me something I don't even want, right? So that's how I treat people who cold call me. And that is likely going to translate to people treating me like that when I try to call them, because that's how I treat people, right? Do to others what you want done to yourself, whatever that saying is from the Bible. There's a reason why they said that, right? So for me, calling was never going to be the way. And, when I look at a lot of the people that have built their business really, really fast, very few of them are making calls. And if they are making calls, it's because they have a system in place that qualifies the lead before they call them. Like, as an example, right? Like, what's, taught or like shoved down everybody's throat in real estate is just reach out to as many freaking people as possible. Even if you've never had a conversation with them, even if they showed no like actual interest in real estate whatsoever, reach out to like as many people as you can, and a certain percentage of those will convert, and you have to follow up with them like 15 times, whatever the hell the number is. And that's what's like most commonly shoved down your throat as a brand new realtor. But there's a way that you can sell real estate where you don't have to talk to these ice cold leads. So like, I run ads today, but I have a system that at least warms up the ad. So by the time I talk to them, they already know who I am. They know my mannerisms. They kind of know my personality and all these things. And they know that I'm like a little bit educated about real estate, and they know all of these things. So it's like, I don't have to overcome at least 5-6 objections that you would have to overcome if you're cold calling a lead, right? Like, my lead comes in, they have a YouTube video they get shown, they have, an ad video where it's me in the ad video, high energy, high this, high that. So by the time I talk to them, they're already warmed up to me, right? The purpose of this video is to tell you, you don't have to just deal with cold leads. You don't have to just reach out to 100 cold leads as your business plan, because it's terrible, right? And now, like me, I don't ever want to deal with cold leads. Like, I'll literally have like realtors try to send me referrals from other cities. And a lot of the time I don't even take them, because I know I'm going to have to get them to trust me, warm them up to me, and do all of these things. Like, if somebody just talks to a cold lead on, their website or something like that, and they try to send me a referral from like Calgary or something, I won't even take it, because I know the amount of work it's going to take to get that person over the finish line. So this is why I love the social media route. All the leads that I talk to are, they're not qualified, but they're at least sold as me, using me as the realtor that's going to provide them the service, right? And even when I run ads today, like I said, I have a system that warms up those leads. So there's a million ways to do real estate. There's a million ways to get business. If you absolutely hate the cold calling grind, the door knocking grind, whatever it is, there are other ways. You don't have to fall into that one methodology of getting business that is so often taught. Like, literally, I think like 90% of coaches out there are primarily teaching this. They're just like, Get out the phone book and call 100 people, or call 100 people who own a home direct and get their email, and then this, and like, sure, yeah, it works, but how much pain and suffering are you going to get through, and how good do your sales skills need to be before you can actually start converting on those conversations? Like, it takes years and years and years to get your sales ability to the point where you can close those leads, where I think it would be better to have systems set up so the leads you're talking to are already either qualified or trust you as the realtor. That way you don't have to lean on years and years of building skill. You just have the qualified leads come in that take some of the burden off you as a salesperson. And naturally, over time, your sales ability is going to get better anyways by dealing with these people at high volume, right? So if you're stuck in this route where you're like, I just don't know what to do, my team lead or this guy's telling me to call more leads, but I hate it and I don't want to do it, or I don't want to door knock, I don't really like that either. There are millions of ways of getting business. There are millions of successful businesses that have never done cold outreach, right? There's so many ways to scale a business without having to reach out to cold leads. Now, I offer free insights, stuff like this in a text-based format in my newsletter. You can join using the link below. Otherwise, like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.